Yo everyone, Wagwan, Sanjo Chia here, and I hope everyone's having an amazing night if I'm being honest. But yeah, welcome back to the channel, and as you can tell, tonight we'll be covering this article here by AnimeNewsNetwork, which, if I'm being honest, if you're somewhat invested in the Black Clover franchise, this news isn't anything new. It actually broke a few days ago, but it's still big news, and at the end of the day, I did promise to give my thoughts in a separate video, so here we are. So, yeah. If you haven't heard by now, then I don't know. But yeah, it was announced a few days ago that the Black Clover anime is on track to ending on its 170th episode, and then we'll be getting a major announcement. But before I can kind of break it down and give my thoughts, of course, if you're a Black Clover fan, I know it's a rough time for, especially if you're anime only, but I'd still say, yo, we'll be covering the manga here on the channel, so definitely subscribe, leave a like, comments, let me know your thoughts and just your expectations and theories regarding the anime ending now. But let's go through the article. So, Black Clover TV anime to end on March 30 with important announcement. The official website for the Black Clover television anime announced on Tuesday that the anime will end in its 170th episode on March 30. It also reported that the final episode will have an important announcement. In addition, Avex Pictures' official YouTube channel will stream a live special on March 30 at 6 PM with the cast. Of course, the anime is Clover Kingdom vs. Spade Kingdom arc started on January 5th. And of course, it gives some background to the series, well, the anime, as per usual with any Anime News Network article. There is a somewhat trailer here, so I'm just gonna throw up my banner and see what's. Well, it's only 15 seconds. Let's see. Alright, fair enough, fair enough. Given what's going to happen in the manga by that time, if I'm estimating it right, having that trailer seems somewhat focused on Yami and Asta seems like the right thing to do right there. But that's pretty much the article. I'll leave the link to it in the description below, even though I don't know if there's anything more from it you'd want to see. But let me switch over here. So, as I said, as promised, I'm here to actually give my thoughts on, you know, the anime ending and just, you know, my feelings on it and all that jazz and blues. So, if I'm being honest, and especially if the poll I ran in terms of, you know, asking persons how they felt regarding the anime ending is anything to go by, most persons seem to be on the same wavelength that, yo, at the end of the day, the anime is far too close to the manga. So this could be reason number one why they've decided to end the anime on the 170th episode. It's actually a discussion I've had with a friend before they even started the time skip in the anime, before episode 158 dropped. And I'd always say to him that, yo, at the end of the day, with the anime starting the time skip, which is chapter 229 in the manga, and at the time we were like in the 270s, we were like what a little bit less than 50 chapters behind the manga. And to me, that's for a weekly series and just going into the time skip, so I'm not expecting a ton of filler, because Black Clover hardly does filler. It's more so they kind of reduce the pacing and add a lot of canon filler to, you know, flesh out things and add extra context. But, you know, going into the time skip, being less than 50 chapters in, and just starting it, you're not expecting to get a ton of filler. Like, there's only so much you can do with a weekly series before you actually catch up. So, obviously, when this announcement, when I heard this information come out regarding the Black Clover anime, it wasn't too surprising to me, if I'm being honest, because I was thinking, and you know, a little bit of spoilers here for anime only, but well, minor spoilers, I guess. But for the next major training arc was coming up at some point, I was discussing with said friend that, yo, like, this is like the only natural place you could actually add like I wouldn't say a ton of filler, but some canon filler to kind of buy some time. But at the same time, it's like, looking at it now, it still would really reduce and kind of pull down on the pacing of the arc, this section of the arc, like too soon right after going into the time skip, especially since we've had a what was it? Well, the anime was already almost at 158 when I caught up. So, but based on the amount of episodes, so like from episode 120 something to 150 something, it's almost been a year of canon filler. Based on, you know, my estimations there. So to actually start the time skip and then go back into quote unquote filler again so soon, it just wouldn't make it just wouldn't it just wouldn't make sense, honestly. So the manga being close to the the anime being close to the manga is, I think, one of the biggest factors why they've decided to actually, you know, just say, oh, let's pause, right? Cool. Now, the second reason, right, in terms of why they might potentially be, you know, I wouldn't say cancel, but stopping the anime, is the possible transition to a seasonal format, which I wouldn't mind, because at the end of the day, say they take a year break, right, and give Tabata enough time to actually catch up to, well, not catch up, but, you know, make the manga progress further. The fact that it's weekly, it's still going to catch up again. Honestly, if you're a person that watched Bleach or Naruto back in the day, you know what it's like to go through tons and tons of filler. And of course, at the end of the day, the main reason is to give the manga enough time to build up. So if the idea that the anime is too close to the manga is like the central reason, then changing over to a seasonal format so that they don't fall back into the same situation again if they say, yo, let's give it a year break or 2 years break and then let's start it weekly again, they're gonna eventually get back into the same position, especially since when you really think about it, we don't know how long Tabata, I mean, I've heard persons in the community saying Tabata could like potentially make the series as long as One Piece, whatever the case may be. I mean, I don't know if the series needs to be that long to accomplish its, you know, narrative goal, but at the end of the day, we don't know how long Tabata is actually going to, you know, make the story last. So let's say, for argument's sake, that he's going to make it as long as One Piece. If they like take even a year break, even a 2-year break, honestly, and then come back and start weekly, they're going to find themselves in the same situation again at some point where the anime is just going to be too close to the manga, because that's exactly the situation that One Piece has been facing for years. I don't think even Oda himself, the writer of One Piece, I don't think even he expected One Piece to be that long, and I feel like it's just so many stakeholders, and you know, it's just too lucrative, I guess, to keep One Piece weekly. So hence why One Piece has been suffering. Well, I hear the Wano arc in the anime has been doing great, but for the most part before Wano, that's why the One Piece anime has been suffering from pacing issues when you really think about it. I mean, just to kind of get sidetracked a bit, think about it. Anime openings are what, usually 1 minute 30 seconds. One Piece openings are what, 2 minutes 30 seconds plus recap plus intro, like, you know, the usual, you know, if you watch One Piece, the usual, you know, new pirate era, yada yada yada, plus recap. And we don't even have endings anymore for One Piece. So that's all these things kind of combined just to make sure that the anime for One Piece doesn't catch up to the manga, because right now I believe manga wise for One Piece we're a bit less than 50 chapters behind from the anime's perspective, like in terms of how far the anime is from the manga. Latest chapter is what, 1002, and then the latest episode adapted, I believe, chapter 959, so a bit less than 50. So it's kind of like Black Clover is in the same position, if you get what I'm saying, and that's not, I don't think Studio Pierrot wants that, especially since Black Clover's anime doesn't have a history of doing a bunch of filler. So potentially, I say all of that to say, yes, reason number 2, they might be transitioning to a seasonal format, and they're giving Tabata enough time to actually, you know, stretch out the manga, get further ahead, all these things. So there's that. Now, possible reason number 3 that they're actually delaying the the Black Clover anime is, I'll say this. I don't know if it was confirmed or not, but correct me if I'm wrong if it was. But with Bleach on track to actually come back, either this year or next year, more than likely it could be a case that staff are now being, you know, reallocated to actually work on the Bleach anime, because at the end of the day, with the 1000-Year Blood War arc coming up, that's what, 200 plus chapters to adapt, and I don't know if they're gonna make that weekly. They could make it over like 2 or 3 seasons, depending on how they they could pace it. If they're gonna make it seasonal, or if they're even gonna make it weekly, then I don't know. But at the end of the day, work could be, no, persons in general could just be being reallocated to work on Bleach if Studio Pierrot is the one working on the Bleach anime, because I don't know if it was announced which studio was, but if it is Studio Pierrot, then that could be a major factor, honestly, especially if it's a case where, like, if Bleach is dropping this year, we haven't gotten like another substantial trailer or anything just yet. Or did we get any trailers? I don't know. We got announcements and all that, but if Bleach is dropping this year, then when you really think about it, they're gonna need, there are probably a lot of deadlines more than like that need to be met right now. Because I would imagine if it is dropping this year, it's gonna be dropping in the fall to winter season or late summer. So probably to kind of finish off some stuff, meet some deadlines. They're definitely putting in that work for Bleach. Whoa, kind of got mine just went away right there. But yeah, I feel that's more unlikely the case, like between these 3 reasons. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't worry about the Black Clover anime not coming back. I feel like it's more than likely going to. I mean, if the information I received last year is anything to go by in terms of, you know, Studio Pierrot's most lucrative franchises, Black Clover was in there. So it wouldn't make any sense to actually not bring it back. But honestly, between the manga just being too close, potentially preparing for transition to like a seasonal, and and potentially if Studio Pierrot is working on Bleach reallocation of persons, then there you go. And if any of these 3 possible reasons of mine hold any weight, then we probably won't see the Black Clover anime come back for at least 6 months, and that's being generous, honestly. Maybe even a year, worst case scenario I would say even 2, but it is what it is. I know a lot of persons who probably aren't too happy about this, and it's more like their case. Maybe you even just started Black Clover. I would still say watch it, get into it, and then once you caught up, just get into the manga. Simple as that. The manga is still pretty good. So just it is what it is. It's just a reality of the situation, honestly. So yeah. But anyway, guys, let me know what you thought. It's just a casual discussion between me and you guys, but let me know what you thought about my thoughts here and in terms of why the Black Clover anime is getting put on hiatus. Can I put it like that? I don't want to say cancelled. And just, you know, leave a like. As I said, we'll still be doing Black Clover content manga wise, from manga discussions, all that jazz and blues. So, and I'll be reacting to all episodes up until the finale, because these next few episodes are going to be crazy with the fight against Dante, Asta and Yami going up against him. Manga readers know that we're in for some crazy stuff. So I'm hoping we end on a bang when it comes down to art, animation, music, and opening 1 has to play on the final episode in like a everybody knows that Yami and Asta scene versus Dante. No spoilers. But yo, respect for tuning in. Hope you guys are having an awesome night, and I'll see you in the next Black Clover video.